Well, hello everybody, Vicky here. I hope everybody is well. I did this video, I want to say about 3 weeks ago, and it has been waiting for me to edit and do a voiceover. Because of the lads, the dogs, that is, the lads, I can't always get the quiet time to do a video. That's why I'm always doing voiceovers these days. So I did, like I said, I did this about 3 weeks ago, and it's taken me this long to be able to edit it and do a voiceover. I can't say things have been going terribly well in this house. I will explain more after I tell you what I'm doing here. So I'm using the Lindy's Stamp Gang sprays, and they have a beautiful mica in them, and they are just a beautiful pigment, and I don't have any never have any luck with doing the spray. So all I've done is I've grabbed a paintbrush and I'm just moving it around the card, which makes me happy. It's much the same. So now I've done that, I've made it very wet. I'm putting some sea salt on top of it, and that sea salt will absorb the paint that it's sitting on and will get an effect. I'm going to pop it off to the side and let it dry, and then we'll have a little show and tell at the end of this video. The next one I'm going to be doing is just squishing markers onto acetate, and so just scribbling on the acetate like you see there, and then putting them onto the watercolour. Turns out I don't have too many water-soluble crayons, and the ones that I do, or felt pens, sorry, not crayons, they're nearly all dry. So I was able to do 2 colourways with them, but then I grabbed some watercolour paint and used that in lieu of having any other markers. Now, as we go onto it, you'll see that I got some pigment from the watercolour onto the acetate, and then I added the water. I suggest that you don't add the water until after you've had at least one go at squishing it onto the paper, and that's just me there rolling, just getting rid of some paint onto paper. That could well be the next background, and it keeps the water cleaner longer. Anyway, where are we? So the cabinet maker came the other day and measured up for what part of the renovation he's involved with. Have no idea what's happening with the rebuild of the room yet, but we had some other trouble. In the spare bedroom where I've had everything just stored in there, I sort of had it in such a way that I could access things if I was prepared to just get used to where everything was, which I had done. But then we started getting a smell out of that room, and Louis was going crazy over at the bed, which has got it's a single bed with a trundle under it, and we've got a very thick mattress on that trundle, so you can't see through to the other side. So he was going absolutely crazy in there, and we've gone, mice. So to get the trundle out, we had to move 2 cabinets, and to move 2 cabinets, we had to empty everything off them, the cube units, 12 by 12 cube units. They're both of these ones that had to be moved at 8 cubes. So we did that, got the bed out, realised that it wasn't mice. There was just a tiny bit of mouse poo in there, nothing terribly dramatic. And I've turned around and looked down where the cabinet was, and it was mould. So it was actually mould was what I could smell, which isn't surprising given how humid and wet we have been over the last few months. So we had to scrub the carpet, vacuum the carpet, scrub it. And while I'm pretty sure with that one that we have got away with that, but then we had to put one of those back, and then we had to move 2 others, which once again, repeat, rinse, start again, taking everything off them, moving the cabinets, etc., treating the carpet. So now I've got a cube unit in the hallway that we have to shimmy past, we're waiting for the treatment for the mould to be successful. Got a feeling that's going to stain. And what's happening here is I'm just using acrylic paint, and I'm rolling it out onto the watercolor paper. And don't use as much paint as I did. It's just crazy. I like the second one, and I think I do a third one, yeah, and it's quite nice too. So just a little bit of paint to start off rather than going in with half a tube or whatever I did. So anyway, back to the dilemma. So this has all been very taxing on my body, which means I haven't really been able to settle to do some creating because I haven't been able to sit up. Now, when I can't create, my mental health suffers because my creating and what I do is, well, creating is such a huge thing for my mental health. When I don't have the capacity to create, I do start to get, well, I just keep going down and down and down. And that's basically what's been happening in this house. So my craft room has still got stuff all around it and in it. Like I said, I did this about 3 weeks ago, and the craft room still looks the same now as what it did when I did this video. But I haven't had the capacity to be able to figure out how to edit this and do a voiceover until now. So hopefully I'm starting to, I've stopped the spiral and I'm starting to find my feet again. And I'm not saying this because I want everybody to feel sorry for me. I'm not saying this because I want someone to fix it. I'm saying it because if you have got an issue and it's keeping you away from creating, but you know that your creativity helps you be a better person, more centered and mentally strong, do what I'm doing. This one I'm doing now, hated it, didn't like it, but I did it. And I do a couple of little things to try and make it look better. As you'll see, and the jury's still out on whether or not I like it, but it could be collage or it could be a backdrop with just a big focal point put in front of it. So I guess what I'm saying is what I'm showing you here is very basic ideas to get a good background, so that as you get stronger and you find your centre again, like I said, and you want to start creating something a little bit more complex, we have some backgrounds in our stash that will help us kickstart that journey back up again. So that's the reason for me telling you my struggle at the moment. We're fine. Graham is a great support to me. He's well. He's doing good, and I will come out of this the other side. So I'm not looking. Yeah, like I said, it's for all of you out there who are feeling overwhelmed, or you're new and you're not quite sure how to get some backgrounds. This is for you. Certainly not for the seasoned creator. So all I'm doing here now is I've got some alfoil, which I've just pounded into the watercolour paper, and then I've got a little bit of cling wrap. I think Americans call it saran wrap. It's just the plastic wrap that we use in the kitchen to cover things. Now, as you can see, it's blobbier. You get a bigger coverage with the Glad wrap quicker than what you do with the alfoil. But I actually like the alfoil. And it's a nice little background. And because I liked it, I thought, you know what, Vic, I like that. I'm going to do another one. So I did in a different colourway. I'm really hoping that you all are well. And the other thing too that makes it a little bit dicey for mental health at the moment is we've transitioned through a season. We're halfway through a season, and whether it be spring or whether it be autumn, they are transitional seasons. I personally like the both of them the better, but it can be a little bit mentally unsettling, I guess, these two seasons, because like I said, they're transitional and we're going on to something different. We don't know what, and that's how I see it anyway. So I really quite like those there. So for the most part, I liked what I did. This I hate. And the reason why I think I did it so badly is I just do not leave things alone. I think that the idea behind this is it's a dry brush, and then you get the paint on your bristles, and then you run it from one side of the card through to the other, and what you get is what you've got. But I just have to keep fiddling. And anyway, I get myself in odds and sods with it, and I just kept going, and I thought, you know what? Once again, this could be a handy background with a big focal point on it, or it could come in handy as a piece of collage paper. Either way, I did in truth throw out three of them, I think, which I did in disgust, and I should have held on to them because it had product on it, and no matter how ugly they were, torn down, they probably would have been just fine. I was just being a bit dramatic, I think. You know, how useless am I, and all that sort of nonsense that our brain tells us when we're not quite feeling well. So anyway, I guess my news is we're still hurry up and wait mode. It's getting colder now, so I had have wished that it would have happened in a bit warmer part of the year, but I can't wish the summer back just yet. We've just finished a doozy. So you can see there I pretty much missed the boat on this one. And here I go again, still trying to get what I think I must be trying to salvage. But after all that, here are some things that I did. You can see where the salt rested on that. That'll be handy. These are very handy. So out of all of them, I've got some good backgrounds, and I hope that I've inspired somebody who is feeling down to just have a go at anything. We don't have to learn every time we do something, and not everything has to be perfect. So, from me to you, be kind to you, and please be kind to the person standing next to you. Bye.